We're going to be finishing up this Unit C, with a discussion on parallel lines versus perpendicular lines, the relationship between their slopes, and we will end up with some equations that we'll do in the examples, writing some equations of lines that are perpendicular versus parallel, and how we can write those equations. Kind of an algebra concept. So first of all, I can relate slope to parallel and perpendicular lines. This is our learning target. Parallel lines have the exact same slope. They're the same rise, the same run. So if two lines are parallel, we know that the slopes will be identical. And in the slope-intercept form, that would be the value of m. In point-slope form, also the value of m. We also know that the converse of that, if the slopes are equal, then the lines will be parallel. So we could do a proof with that as one of the reasons. Perpendicular lines have what we call opposite reciprocal slopes. So let's say the slope of one line is 2 over 3, 2/3. Well, then the opposite reciprocal of that would be a negative slope, and then 3 over 2. So negative 3/2 would be the slope of the perpendicular line. So again, you take that fraction and you flip it and change the sign. So if it's already negative, it would become positive and the fraction would get flipped. If it's not a fraction, if it's like 4, the slope is 4, then the opposite would be negative and the fraction would be 1/4. So 4 and 1/4 would be your opposite reciprocals. If it's a decimal, you're probably going to need to turn it into a fraction before you do that. All right, and last but not least, horizontal lines and vertical lines are perpendicular to each other. Horizontal lines would be ones that go across like this, and vertical ones would go straight up and down like that. They are perpendicular to each other. One's got a slope of 0, the other one's got an undefined slope. So you can't really do opposite reciprocal on that one. Okay, and there's your notes. We will be taking a look at some algebra type problems with these here coming up next.